wear a piece of garb like this green turning lathe smock that I wear. In fact, I didn't have one for the longest time, and I'd go home every day with a pocket full of sawdust. So it's helpful in keeping sawdust from around your neck and keeping it on the jacket where it belongs. The one thing that I do think is incredibly important is the helmet. And you can make a lot of mistakes on a big lathe and get hurt. And if you got safety glasses on, it protects your eyes, but it doesn't protect your teeth or your nose, and it's easy to break a nose or lose some teeth. So I have got arguably the best helmet made. It also has a respirator in it, and it covers all the bases, and so I feel more secure when I'm using it. I also like to turn with gloves on, just because sometimes the action gets pretty aggressive. And I also learned this summer that there are some woods that I'm allergic to, particularly exotic woods like teak, sometimes walnut, but when you're covered up like this, then the wood can't get to your arms anyway, so there's no reason for you to break out in a rash. So let's get to turning. So when I'm starting a bowl, I want to make sure that that it's as centered as possible, and you can see it's not totally centered at all. And so what I want to do is run the RPMs up high enough to where it starts shaking, and then turn it back down just a little. So I'm at about 900 RPMs, and it was just starting to shake. It'll stop shaking when I get it round. Okay, now you can see how smooth it is. Not very. Turn it off and take a look at it. You can see all the glue that's still running on this side. That means that I'm not round enough yet to get to this side. Yeah, now I'm at 1200 RPMs. Now it's still not round. See the little pieces of it here? It's not quite completely round. When you turn the bowl on now, you see my tool just sits there because it's completely round. So I've addressed the outside of the bowl. It's time to address the inside of the bowl a little bit. I'm thinking, well, you know what I think I want to do? If you come around this side and look at the back of this bowl, you see that chunk out of it right here? I'm gonna turn this bowl where I knock this edge off. And the way I'm gonna approach that is I'm gonna take a bit of a marker. I want to take it off to here, so somewhere around here. And on this side, I want to take it off. I need to take it off at least to where this is. So there you go. That's got to all get removed. And we'll begin to give my bowl some shape. And I think I want to start there. And then I'll address the inside of the bowl. But let's see if we can get this cut first. And I'm going to move my tool rest enough to try to get square with the cut that I'm trying to make, and I'm making sure my tool rest is not touching the wood, and I'm ready to go. It's got a nice bit of a curve on the bottom, I don't quite like it just yet. I think this edge needs to go away. Let's take it just a little bit further. I don't know if you can see, there's a groove right here. And part of that's because this edge is so high right here. So I need to take it down a little bit. Now it's going to take some sanding from here. But this line that you're seeing right here is actually a joint. So it's not going to go away completely anyway. And I'm going to use a different process to get the center of it out. Yeah, now you can see it's starting to take shape. I'm not all the way to that edge yet, so I'm going to take it a little more. I want to get into these. I want to get into the corners up here. You can see where I'm not quite there yet, so it's uneven. It's starting to take shape. I still don't like this spot here. It needs to go more. Yeah, I still have a little here that needs to come out. Yeah, that's much better. Now you can look at again, that's a seam, that's a joint. So I can't make it go away, but I can cut it down close to, I can get all the glue out. This is a good opportunity to just show you another technique. This is such a shallow bowl, you don't necessarily have to do this. If this were a big deep bowl, maybe a foot deep, something like that, then you'd have a ton of material that you'd have to carve out. This is a Forstner bit, and you can get Forstner bits. For those of you, many of you already know this, in many different sizes. Here are two sizes right here. You can see the difference, but this will hog out a bunch of meat. This piece is going to remain stationary, and the wood is going to spin. So it's just backwards from what you do with a drill bit. So now I want to reduce the speed now significantly. I want to be at about 500. You begin to turn this and advance that Forstner bit into the wood. You can see the kind of wood that it's spinning off of this thing. Unlike these strands I was cutting with a carbide tip blade, these are coming off the Forstner bit. Much thicker. So this is just all material that I don't have to carve out with a knife. And if you've got a big long piece of material, this is magic to have a Forstner bit that big to do that kind of work. I want to take a look and see just how thick the bottom of this is. So these are called calipers, and they come in all different shapes and sizes, but I like this one because it's big enough to go around a big piece of lumber. And that's pretty doggone close. I can turn a little bit more out of the center, but not very much, or I'm going to hit the bottom. So I'm going to turn my banjo now to get the tool rest in a position where I can come straight at the wood. Now I'm going to put my helmet back on, because if this is going to fly off, this would be a good time for it to fly off. And now I only have this sacrificial piece connected with glue to hold it together. So now it's shaking a little bit, but it kind of evens out at 2,000 RPMs, and that's where I am. That's where I like to turn. Now I've got to get that hole out of there. Now again, I don't need to be looking at the knife as much as looking at this side over here because that's where you can see what's going on. Okay, I like that. It's still got just a little bit of a groove in it. So I'm going to hit it on the wall just one more time. All right, that's a pretty good looking bowl to me. I think I can live with it. I'm going to have to get them with sandpaper. So now you've got pretty much a finished bowl. It's not completely finished, but we have finished the cutting of it. And it looks pretty smooth. I'm pleased with it. So if you like what you're seeing, for sure, press the subscribe button and ring the bell.